Hi folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. I've got an old Suzuki tank that I put a different connector on. I've got it set up for a Mercury. But the problem I had was I took this tank apart, I took these screws out here, looked inside, make sure the tank was clean. It is spotless. This is like a brand new tank with a little bit of patina on the outside. So I wanted to get this thing back up and going again so I could use it. I've got a lot of plastic tanks, and this is just a good old metal tank that I could actually make some use of. I've got different motors, different connections that I want to maintain some connections for, maintain the gas mix. So I pulled this apart, looked inside, and then the gasket that I used, let me grab that. I should say the gasket that was in there was a little old, tired, and dried out. But I have no idea if it was leaking because I didn't try it. Before I pulled it apart, I wanted to inspect the tank. I tried some other harder gasket material that I've used for like on my out drives for those gaskets. It's not flexible enough to seal. So I ended up, got online with McMaster Car, not sponsored by those guys. And bought me a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of Buna in rubber. It's supposed to be chemical, oil, gas resistant. So with that being said, this is rubber, this is rubber. I ordered two pieces. I ordered a piece of 32nd and a piece of 16th. Looks like 16th is going to be what I want to use. I'm going to cut my own gasket out of this stuff. And I got enough that if I find a couple more tanks, which I do have a couple more of these metal tanks, that if I want to access this area here and the cap hole to be able to clean these out better, I can actually put me a new gasket on there, because good luck finding a gasket. This keeps falling. Good luck finding a gasket for one of these old tanks. They just don't make them anymore. But I like some of the old stuff. This is probably a tank that I'll end up, I don't know what I'm going to use it. Whatever, because I got this one set up for a Mercury. Whatever boat I stick the Mercury on and test it out, that's what I use a tank for. If I'm just test running it, this is a tank I can use. So let's get after pulling this apart. I'm going to show you how I make a gasket. In this case, I already have the gasket out. So before I remove that again, I can go ahead and cut me out a new one. So what I want to do is I'm going to take advantage of the corner, and I'm going to take a pen here, and we're going to just hold this flat and trace around this so we can get the shape. We're going to make a circle where all the holes are, screw holes. And around the opening on the inside. Now we know what to cut out, and we know what will fit. So you can see that's what I've got to cut out now. Just get you now with this rubber, it's easier than the other material I use, because I can just use a good sharp pair of scissors. Now that we got that shape cut out, now we got to cut the holes. I'm going to show you what I've got for cutting the holes. If you find yourself making lots of gaskets, I would suggest to buy you a set of these. I call them gasket punches. They're for punching holes in material. They've got a sharpened edge here, and you can lay them on here, hit them with a hammer, and it cuts through things. The one thing I would suggest, though, is don't do it on your boat. So we're going to move this to a piece of wood or plastic and do it there. Now I've got me a little piece of thin plywood on my steel bench. We're just going to line this up on the hole. Get your hammer, give it a cut. Look at that. Cuts a beautiful hole. We'll do that 3 more times, and this gasket is complete. just like that, you got yourself a brand new gasket. Let's install it. Now I think this will show up in the video. You can see it's a little damp around here and around here from where the gas leaked out. When I put the new gasket on here, not the new gasket I just made, but the new old gasket, I guess you call it, it still leaked a little bit. So that's why we're doing this again. This tank's about half full according to the gauge, and that's just not going to work. So let's pull this back out. Let's go ahead and get this hose out of our way. No sense in having that cause us any more headaches. Now, the neat thing about this old tank is it has the gas gauge with the float. And get it out of here. There you go. Get all the gas out of here. We'll peel the old gasket off of here carefully. Making a little bit of a mess here. Gas coming out everywhere. We'll wipe all this dry. Like I said, this old gas tank looks a little tough on the outside, but the inside is just like brand new. So I couldn't resist using it. The bottom's solid. Minimal rust anywhere on it. Just got a little age on it, like myself. So we'll get this completely dried up. And we'll slip a new rubbery gasket on here. Got the new gasket laying on here. Let's see if we can stick her back in. That rubber should seal up better than that other gasket did. Nice if I put it on the right direction. There we go. Let's put it on that direction. A lot of people would have just discarded this tank and said, let's just go get a new one. Well, that'll cost you about, for tank and hose, for instance, it costs you about $70, depending on what brand you get. Looks like the rubber's mashing out real nice, and I'm going to create a nice tight seal. But now we've taken this tank. Thing will last. We take care of it, it'll last a long, long time. Now the true test. Get her good and dry here. Now the true test, as you well know, is it's going to be shooken up. I can see gas splashing up against this window. Because the boat ride's going to get kind of rough. Got some high seas out there. Oh my gosh, she's breaking up. Nope, look at that. Look at that. Now I did that before, and I had gas weeping out around the edge. That's stone cold dry there, folks. That's a successful fix. That tank's ready to go to a lake. That tank's ready to help me catch some fish. Or test run a boat. Either or. But yeah, that's I'm totally thrilled with that. You don't want gas leaks on a boat. That concludes this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. I hope that tech tip was helpful for you. I tried out some other rubbers before, rubber pieces, and soaked them in some gas to see if they were gas and oil resistant. This seemed to work very well. It didn't. One piece I cut, it swelled up to twice the size because I had some other rubber pieces just laying around. I thought I'd try. Didn't know what kind they were. Ordered this offline, like I said, through McMaster-Carr. They're a great supplier for just about all fasteners and any kind of stuff you need online. And their shipping is very fast, and they got good stuff. So that was my little tech tip for you guys. It works very well. It's very sealed up now. It wasn't before, and it's going to work for a long time to come now. And if I ever need another gasket, I got a 12-inch by 12-inch piece. I can make a lot of gaskets out of that. I actually have a couple of other old gas tanks that I think are in good shape that I'm going to do the exact same thing to bring them back to life so they're actually useful again. Please leave questions and comments down below. Subscribe if you like what you see. Hit that like button. Appreciate that very much. Hit the notification bell. That'll also let you know when I drop another video. And you'll get a notification of some sort, depending on how you got your computer and or your tablet or phone set up. You'll get a notification and you can watch another video created by myself. Anyway, folks, this has been enjoyable. We're going to move on to some more stuff. We've got some products that showed up today from Total Boat. I can actually get back to the old banana here and get the new floor installed and get that all buttoned up, and that way get this boat ready to fish. I'm going to drop it in the water this year. It's just a matter of what time this year, but it's going to be sooner than later. We got a bunch of other motors we're working on right now. Stay tuned for those videos as well. Got a lot of irons in the fire right now. And it's supposed to rain Memorial Day weekend. It's supposed to rain all weekend. So it's a good time for me to spend the time indoors catching up on some projects. We'll see you folks on the next video. Enjoy life. Get out there and have some fun. If you're not having fun, you got to ask yourself, why not? If you're not having fun, that's on you. Get out there, find something enjoyable, and do it. Michael, out. Well, if you watch the outro, you'll get to see this little tech tip. Folks, I would suggest if you're going to have multiple motors apart at a time, multiple pieces of motors apart at a time, get yourself some nice heavy-duty containers like these. And as you can see here, I got 3 lower units off of 3 different motors I'm working on. I've got parts ordered, but I didn't want that laying all over my bench and you could get knocked off and lose it. So we've got the pumps and other assorted pieces in these storage containers, or these stackable containers with the lower units in them. So whenever the parts show up, I can actually throw the parts back in here in each box until I get to it. And then all my parts are there that I need when I go to put it back together. Just another little quick tech tip. Once again, thank you for watching.